Hello, my Aquarius, and welcome now to Tuesday. Thanks for logging in. Sunny and productive today for the innovative thinkers of the zodiac. Lots going on. The moon, for one, is out of Aquarius and into Pisces. So emotional focus is now shift to what we call soul capital. What that starts with is how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem. So if you've got any issues with self-esteem, today they may be emotionally inflamed. Okay? It's one of those days where if you were a teenager and you found acne on your cheek, you're like, ah! Things kind of melt down. This is also a day of being productive, putting your heart into your work. And when you feel good and you put your heart into your work, that's when you draw in abundance, which is the new age word for money, basically. So this is a great day to get things done, great day to put your heart into your work. And don't go to the dark side of the moon. If there's something you don't like about yourself, don't dwell on it. Fix it. Zooming around to the sun, part of the dwell potential today is the sun is conjuncting Pluto. We're now at 1 degree Capricorn. And this is going to be a heavier transit than usual. Aquarius, you're going to be weeding your soul garden during the course of the month. And today with the sun conjuncting Pluto, which is almost at 3 degrees, it is now time to let it go and let it flow. Time to let some aspect of your weeds and your soul garden, in fact, die. Now this is probably a very primitive aspect, okay? Probably directly related to a certain behavior that you have. And you know, this weeding, this really deals with how we cope with our childhood. You know, I look at this as the subconscious, and I don't know if you ever heard this from me before, but the subconscious is like the rings on a tree. We're alive and we're 1 year old, we create a ring. Then a 2 year old, we create another ring, then another ring, then another ring. By the time you're 36, there's 36 rings, right? And the subconscious is the inner rings. We don't remember those rings, but they are still alive. They're still part of our consciousness. Well, if we have an issue, like our parents yelling at us at age 2, well, we start to react to that issue, and that issue ends up growing through all of the rings, and that becomes a weed in our soul garden. So by now at 36, you're not necessarily having your parents yell at you, but when someone yells at you, raises their voice, you react like crazy. That's because you've got a deep cord to what this issue is. So my point is this. There is a weed in your soul garden, probably very primitive, like being yelled at or not being yelled at, not a complicated one like always dating unavailable men. That's a complicated weed. And that it is time to let one of these simple barbaric weeds or simple weeds to go and let it flow. So today you might be triggered by something, and if you do, look at it. See if that's a pattern in your life, and see if you might want to make a decision now to not react to that weed. Then, speaking of not reacting, Mars is now retrograde. Mars went retrograde over the weekend. It has been in Leo, which is the house of marriages and partnerships. So you've been pushing forward since October 17th when it comes to developing a new kind of partnership with yourself, with others, and of course marriages, which is romantic. Mars will be retrograde until March 14th, which means there's no pushing necessary anymore. It's time to just sit back, and see what happens. All right, Aqua, that's all I have for the day. I'll see you tomorrow with more Live, Love, Be. So God.